Star Citizen has a potential problem brewing on its hands, and it rhymes with Boxic. If you've been in Star Citizen for more than a few years, you know the best part of the game has long been the community. Kindness, curiosity, and passion reigned supreme as we all suffered together through the alpha phase. But things have been changing a little bit lately. Now you can't go more than a few hours in some servers without seeing blatant racism or the lamest, most try-hard insults that just make everyone uncomfortable and turn off global chat. An MMO where the first tip is to turn off chat is going to die. The ongoing Clearing the Air event still proves that we need to know if proximity chat is actually working so we can talk first and shoot later. If you want to trade with other players right now, it can be tense and cumbersome with a whole bunch of flashing flashlights. And if you did try jumping in with others for the current event, you know the party, chat, and general comm system all need a massive update. There's a social apps problem with Star Citizen that can't go on any longer. Luckily, from the CEO's words to recent teasers, we might be in for a treat actually pretty soon. So let me show you why, whether you're a multiplayer or a solo player, or somewhere in between, these changes are going to seriously benefit you probably sooner than you think, because there's actually some good proof. Hey, Tomato from the editing room here. Listen, I recorded and wrote this before Benoit, the CTO, went on camera and talked about all of this, so I'm going to use this video as a chance to kind of corroborate and go into more detail about what he talked about and tell you when it's going to come, because like I said, a lot of proof. Thank you for coming to my Tomato Talk. You might think that Social Tools update is only for group play, but even if your only interaction with the system is to press F12 and turn it off, that's still something to be improved. When you have to see what every person across every star system is saying all the time, chat can feel a bit pointless. Maybe if you only saw what the person next to you at the random outpost you were at was saying, you might actually keep it on. This upcoming update should allow for chat to be broken out into separate tabs, and I'm hoping that is based on the locale you're actually in. It's going to offer new options for filtering, creating and managing groups, as well as tagging locations, items, and contracts for others to easily see what they are. It works in line with the new proposed friends list as well. Besides, letting us actually scroll through the whole friends list, this one is going to let you see rich location data on everybody, putting notes on players, blocking others, putting some on your shoot on sight list, creating new voice chats, managing your parties, and even seeing seat-specific information about your different party members. The block and mute buttons have already been added to the game, but nothing related to social mechanics is intuitive, so it's all going to need a visual overhaul anyways. But I do believe, of all the social tools we might see, the chat and friends list are the most likely. The comms portion of the whole suite was actually confirmed by Benoit, the company CTO, as the first phase of this whole change, coming pretty soon. And as much as I know y'all want everybody to use Discord for everything, that just doesn't solve running into random players, or needing to link up with a shopkeeper at their base, or hearing the other players hiding out in the same outpost nearby chatting. Hell, how many of you would have enjoyed voice comm support for your groups in the current event? Seriously, this was the first time I've ever seen this many random people working together. Clearly the community wants to team up, be involved and help each other. Even if these players generally aren't group enough in 100-player groups, obviously they're open to it. Let's support that.
It's kind of urgent at this point that we do something there.
Normal comms are important, and integrating things like data, personnel, and contract sharing into text chat also adds functionality that can extend on Spectrum across our phones and our PCs out of game. On top of that, with events like this, we need a looking for group service, so you can crew ships, run raids, take on mining expeditions, and get some backup for dungeons in a much more reliable fashion. Phase 2 of the social apps rollout confirmed that by Benoit. But that's just one side of things here. There are also player beacons, essentially player-created contracts. The player market. Because even if you don't play Star Citizen with others, there's a very good chance you're going to need others to do something for you. You may love base building, but you're going to need materials to do it, and players will get that faster and at a higher quality than NPCs or any shops in the game. The same can go for medical help, refining assistance, mining duty, and salvaging. You should be able to comfortably offload work to other players as you progress through Star Citizen. Beacons are how we'll do that. They will have both a reputation system and a reliability rating system, so players will know both how other players have rated you over time, and also how your last 5 sessions have gone, success, failure, or hostile. This system will allow for players to offer service beacons as I previously described, and guide beacons, bringing the player-guided tutorial system in-game. All of this will coincide with the reputation and security system in-game to continue pushing problematic players to the edge of high security space and leaving a more reliable inner community in the safer systems. Ideally. So, solo play, running into randoms, squatting up for dungeons, hiring a base constructor, trash-talking your enemy, even turning off global chat have all been covered. Org tools are naturally what comes next, and have actually been confirmed as the third phase of this whole social app integration. From calendars to update boards, inter-org reputation, alliances, rivalries, and relationships with NPC factions, even customized bases, armor, vehicles, and your own space stations? But that's all likely late in the year at the earliest. Moving orgs into the game and making them more of a natural landing place for folks is a good move in strengthening the community, but I think it does take second place to just getting basic communications working, which is the most important thing this year. Making sure players can reliably interact and decide who they are interacting with. Cleaning up expectations in the community and giving players more tools to control their own environment, reliably, like just scrolling down their friends list. None of this is cosmetic fluff. Most players would have wanted it years ago, but it's absolutely necessary in today's game environment. And even if you disagree, I'm gonna champion it for you, because this is gonna make the game better for us all. But why, Tomato, are you talking about this? Well, there are signs this update actually could be coming soon. Understanding why social tools have taken so long is pretty simple. For most of this game's development, game instance size has been 50 or less players. That on its own meant communication and grouping up wasn't incredibly important. The largest parties you generally see were in their 20s or 30s, and those were manageable, but also still pretty rare. At the same time, there were no dungeons or raids or narrative events. We had some dynamic events, but outside of that, it was mostly a solo player game. Now, this is the same problem we had with the star map. It's the same problem we have with quantum travel or the inventory. They're all relics of a smaller scale game. CIG has acknowledged this multiple times. They've shared plans of social tools, usually at the behest of Jared.
The comms app will be replaced by something helping you do your org stuff instead, maybe. So that will be playing into a lot of social things.
You said org stuff. What org stuff? It was like CitizenCon 2013 when we introduced org stuff. It's still not in game.
People have been creating and managing orgs on our website since 2013.
Yeah, 13.
And this is 2026, and those orgs still not in game.
Correct.
When, Benoit? When, please, dear God in heaven above or down below, who do I have to talk to?
Sure.
And to be clear, this is why we now know it's coming very soon. But for the most part, I think they've been held back by the demand of Squadron 42 and the task of actually building the UI tools for the rest of the company to use, and working on UI that was more important. Besides Chris Roberts referencing the apps in his letter about what's to come this year, CitizenCon 2025 specifically called out the need as new larger events have started to show up. And tactical strike groups requiring entire fleets of players to team up and take on a multi-stage breach and destroy operation, at the very least an update to voice reliability, party markers, and the party system is going to be needed for that. Then, you have to consider this big one. The UI building tool that was used for most of this project was based on Adobe Flash, which was deprecated several years ago, and most of you probably haven't used personally in almost a decade. That's why, while the UI still needs work, it is leagues better than what it used to be. Even then, it uses the in-house tool, building blocks, to build out more versatile UI like we've been seeing. But the primary rendering tech is still Scaleform. Well, it was. See, late last year, engine tech messiah Ali Brown made it known on the official forums that the rendering tech, Paint, that they're working on is due to be implemented in the next big engine update to Star Citizen, which, if you've been tracking, just happened in Alpha 4.5 in December, which is why we are seeing things like more graphic options and virtual reality. This is honestly a pretty big sign something's happening soon. But put aside the actual necessity of this feature with the game becoming more social, the absolute pitiful state of global chat, the talk from developers, the teasers, the engine updates, and the letter from the chairman. It's the loading screens that make me think this might actually be happening soon. Generally, CIG is using the loading screen prompts to advertise upcoming narrative content, features, and ships. Starting in December, we saw talk of comms systems being updated in the Star Citizen universe. We first theorized it could be something data running related, but that's less likely. The next update in January doubled down on the teaser, now explaining that the system is coming online and being shared across thousands in the universe. This gives a sense of urgency, of current state, of this is very present. Much like with the regen crisis being advertised in the update before it showed up, this could be the lore explanation for a more substantial and robust comm system coming online. From the Nyx terraforming to the regen technology being developed in recent years, CIG is using these lore tie-ins for feature implementations and retcons regularly, and they're using the loading screens to do it. I think from everything we've seen and what makes the most sense for this year, we're about to see some kind of update to the social tools in Star Citizen sooner than later. Because as I've been saying, the CTO basically came out and said it all. So you no longer have to take my word for it. Look, I know plenty of people want us to shut up and use Discord, and if that's what you want to do, you do you. But I'm here for a healthy game experience, and believe it or not, social experiences are pretty healthy ones. And playing a game where you can hear random conversations, ask questions, meet new people, and run into random goings-on without feeling weird or forced is healthy. It's also kind of cool and fun. And we need crew. So whether it's text chat, voice chat, or emotes, almost every multiplayer game is gonna have to have robust, reliable communication. It's time Star Citizen got its own figured out. Whether you're looking for work, jumping in with friends, meeting strangers, or calling for truce in a firefight, this is one of the most important things that could happen this year. And if you want to know when this all does happen, I'll be covering it here every week for you on Space Tomato and every day for you over on Space Tomato 2. Thank you for watching this until the end. I hope you learned something new in this video, and I'll catch you in the next.